other thing is Coach Judkins has twins, a boy and a girl, and Hunter Schofield is expecting twins, a boy and a girl. And let's play some basketball, and it's won by the Blazers, and we are underway as we go. Coach, want your keys to the game, brought to you by Rainbow Sign and Banner.
It's definitely going to be, that three-point line is going to be really big, but it's a hot start for Dixie State.
Pope to a cutting Schofield, and it's good. And there's the guy we were just talking about, first bucket of the night.
Yeah, he needs that to get going, and the start really sets a tone for this Dixie State team. When they get going, their confidence gets going. That confidence bleeds into their defense, a little more energy that leads to those stops. Hopefully they can build on that momentum. Rowell
out top. Armstrong goes to Thomas. Spin move to a baby right hook, too strong, and rebound Hunter Schofield.
Well, Thomas is one. He's their leading scorer. He had 16 versus Seattle U. He's another guy that can really put it up.
Akin knocks it out of bounds, but he touched it last. Dixie State will have a 24 on the shot clock. Other keys?
I think for the Lancers, it's going to be just their consistency on defense. If they can disrupt Dixie State, they're coming in here allowing 67 points. So their defense is key. If they can keep this game in the 60s, they're in great shape.
And one of the Armstrong brothers did not play the first meeting. It was a Dan Sell leader, mid-range jumper, middle of the key goes. Beautiful shot by Sell. You go back to the first meeting, 4-0 Blazers here. It was an 11-0 run to close the game for the Blazers down in Riverside, and they win it 79-76. One of the best comebacks for Coach Judkins this season.
A huge win. I mean, that win on the road really changed the dynamic of both teams' season. You know, Dixie State, they went on a run. They got beat at Seattle pretty bad the next night, but they went on a little bit of run. The Lancers have really struggled since then.
Inside, Akin, no. A little too strong with the left hand off the bank. Here comes Cam Gooden. CG3 behind the back, drops it into Pope. Pope has a lane, and he is held or bumped. So Schofield gets a layup to start the scoring. A little step back from the middle of the key by Dancel Leader, and it's 4-0. And the first team foul against the Lancers called on Rowell, and Cam Gooden to trigger it in. Goes into Sell, but it goes right past him. He has to track it down. Gets it to Gooden in the corner. Rise, shine, and hit a Mountain America Credit Union 3-ball from the corner pocket.
Love that shot by Cam Gooden, who, you know, luckily they got it back. Rowell had the ball. He had a chance to go down and score, but Dancel Leader tipping that away, getting it to Cam Gooden. I love that shot selection, catch and shoot.
Armstrong gets it over to Rowell, and Rowell maybe grazed the rim, but off the mark. 7-0 Blazers. Great start. And Coach Judkins came on the coach's show with me earlier today on 97.7 ESPN, and he talked about how he wanted to see a hot start in the first 4-minute battle. Well, so far so good in the first not even 2 minutes of this game.
Yeah, that's kind of been the roughest part of their season is the games that they have not started well, and that usually is turnovers and not able to get stops. Tonight we've seen Dixie State get some stops. They forced that shot by Rowell, a shot that he could normally hit. They contested that, made that a difficult shot that led to the miss. They've got a few stops, but they've been able to convert on the other end. 7-0 is a very good start for Dixie State.
Foul there on the Lancers, and I think it was on Elijah Thomas. He'll take a seat. Cottage was checked in. Reed Nottage, excuse me, and Blazers go back to work. Cam Gooden going to go down to the baseline. Triggered in. Quickly goes into Frank. Starters tonight brought to you by Cash Valley Bank. One of your sponsors bringing you WAC basketball tonight on a Thursday night. Cal Baptist will play up at UVU on Saturday. Dixie State will host Seattle U here in the Burns Arena. And Hunter Schofield from 15 feet out, nothing but the bottom.
He loves that elbow, and he felt that shot clock going down. He knew he had to make a decision. He's very comfortable right there with that pull-up jumper. He's a very good mid-range shooter, and right there he showed that that's a shot he can hit consistently.
Nottage triple, no. Pope, strong rebound. And Blazers up 9-0, and here comes Pope. Hits Schofield. Schofield drives and going to be blocked away. Big time block there by Akin. Akin is a very talented big man, but they turn it over. Rowell and Armstrong not on the same page. That was Trey Armstrong he was trying to feed it to.
Well, you can see that they're just a step behind. Lancers trying to get things going. They need somebody that can step up and make a play defensively first. They've got to get some stops and get out in the open court. Get some of their guys like Armstrong and Rowell going offensively.
Inside they go to Schofield. They don't double team him. He'll go to the hook shot off the window. Missed it. Rebound. And here comes Trey. Trey crossover on Stain. Has a little crease and bulldozes Hunter Schofield. And Hunter Schofield got floored and takes the charge. And it's a turnover on the charge. And Dixie State has it back with a 9-point lead.
Yeah, that's a big charge. You can see going right for the rim. You like that take. Hunter Schofield able to step in and take that. You love when guys can see the play developing, and Hunter Schofield recognizing that opportunity. And then the hard part is just stepping in and taking it.
So the Blazers getting it done on both ends right now.
Yeah, looking real good. Good start.
Cam Gooden kicks to the corner of Frank, inside to Hunter. Hunter going to go up and under hook, blocked by Akin. Wow, what a swat. That was pretty. Like almost timed it before it even left his fingertips. Armstrong backs into the corner. They switch back. And Nottage will catch and shoot the triple. That won't go. Lancers cold to start shooting-wise. Here comes Isaiah Pope. Pope, hesitation move, blocked away. That's like 3 defensive blocks in a row. So Lancers not scoring, but they're starting to ramp up the defense a little bit.
Well, you talked about those keys. They had to find their stops. They've got the stops. Great plays defensively. Now they're out running their stuff, 4 out, 1 in. 4 out, 1 in, using on-ball screens. Dixie State's been switching those, forcing them to skip it, but they'll eventually reverse it and find an open shot.
Try to go get that ball, the early triple, and Dixie State up 9-0, and they'll inbound to Cam Gooden. Coach Judkins always talks about winning those 4-minute battles, and they do, and they try to go to a lob, and Dan Sell was maybe a little early on the pass by Good, and he couldn't get to it. Goes off the backboard, and here come the Lancers.
Oh, it's, you know, they gambled on that one, and you know they wanted to get that lob. Dansell was there, but give California Baptist credit. They really did a good job of blowing that play up. That's 4 consecutive stops for the Lancers. So starting to figure things out defensively. It's the offensive end. They can get that cleaned up. They'll make this game competitive.
Armstrong to Taryn Armstrong. Trey hitting Taryn. Campbell gives it up, gets it back over to Armstrong, who hoists and hits the Mountain America Credit Union 3. Deep 3, a couple feet behind the line, nothing but the bottom.
Yeah, big shot. You love that confidence. That's what they needed to get going. That'll probably spark this little Lancers run. They've been able to get it defensively. Hopefully that spark will lead to some offensive output.
Gonzalez has checked in out of the media timeout. Schofield gets it to Dansell Leader on a cut and a whistle and a foul. Reed Nottage whistled for the foul defensively. Already the 5th team foul. Dixie State has yet to commit a foul. Still a long way to go here. 14:53 on the We Win injury law clock in the first half. Dansell Leader toes the free throw line. First free throw of the night for the Blazers, and it's no good.
Dixie State, you know, I think it was Grand Canyon, they shot or New Mexico State, season low 4 free throws. A team not known to get to the free throw line, but when they do, they've been fairly good throughout the year. They hit a couple key free throws to ice the game against Utah Valley. And Dansell Leader hitting the second one. You know, if it becomes a free throw shooting contest, Cal Baptist definitely leads in that category.
Blazers 4 out of 8 from the field. Lancers just 1 for 7. That was that Armstrong 3. Nottage goes to the low block. They'll kick out to the corner. 3 is in the air. That's no good from Tyree Campbell. And here comes Frank Stain. Frank gives it up to Hunter. He's going to run down the lane, and the lane doesn't go. And the Lancers want to run a little bit. Campbell to the middle. Kick out to a trailing Nottage. Back to Campbell. Campbell kicks it over. Armstrong wide open 3. Too strong. Back iron no good. Rebound Schofield. Schofield's already got 4 rebounds in this game. Inside, Dansell. They're banging. They're letting him bump. He's going to go to a fadeaway, and he left it a little bit short.
Yeah, he set that shot up. You could tell he was going to spin back to that middle or fadeaway, trying to set the defender up. And Campbell did a very good job of standing his ground, not giving in and contesting that Dansell Leader jumper.
Inside, little baby left hook. That's too strong from Stone. And here comes Cam Gooden. Hesitation move. Good defense by the Lancers. Instead, he'll kick it out. Schofield will catch and shoot. That three won't fall. Leader tips it, but it's going to go right down to the Blazers bench out of bounds, back to the Lancers. Blazers had that hot start. They've cooled off a little bit.
They have cooled off. One of their last 7 shots. They haven't scored for a minute and 41 seconds. So, it's such a long game. You jump out to a good start like that. Sometimes that's fool's gold, and you feel like, okay, we got this. And you start to get out of the same rhythm that you were in. You can see the Trailblazers just a little bit off, already just going to their bench. That starting group that started for Dixie State tonight scored 71 points against Utah Valley. And tonight it may be the bench. You've got Noah Gonsalves and Trey Edmonds, Jacob Nichols into the game for the Trailblazers. So a little bit different look here for the next few minutes.
Takeaway by Gonsalves to Cam. Cam was thinking that Frank was going to keep cutting, and Frank had stopped his momentum and was going to bounce back out of the key area, and Cam Gooden has it sail out of bounds. 10-3, Blazers by 7, 13-11 to go here in the first half from the Burns Arena. Outside Armstrong, over to Thomas. Now to Taron Armstrong. Show double, but Nichols backs out. Taron Armstrong with third triple, and he's now 1 for 3 as that one ricochets off the rim, no good. CG3 to Nichols. Looking, and gets it to Frank Stain. Still 16 on the shot clock.
Yeah, Dixie State definitely patient, but this Cal Baptist team is doing a much better job against these Dixie State sets.
You mentioned they have been a little bit stingier defensively as the season is worn on. And a turnover by Dixie State. Lancers going to work, down by 7. Armstrong out near the Blazer emblem. Starts to drive, and Gonsalves is going to get called with a little hand check.
A couple of key substitutions for Coach Croy. Gone to his bench a little bit. Some guys have stepped in. I thought Nottage has really played defensively. He's been a very strong defender for this Cal Baptist team, and really kind of given them a spark defensively.
Drop it down low to Akin. A very excitable, talented player, and he started to make a move, and the ball he just lost it. Maybe hit it off his knee or something. Driving, no, but they're going to call an offensive foul.
They were unable to score, and that really hurt them. Lately, they've been getting going. At the first part of the game, Dixie State was shooting a blistering 67%, now down to 36, so it's starting to level out a little bit.
Get it to the top of the key. Lancers with the possession here, 15 on the shot clock. Armstrong uses a good pick, but they switch it. Thomas back to Armstrong. Now Thomas got to go with 6. Going to spin. Nichols playing good D, and he's going to go up and challenge, and it's too strong. Rebound Edmonds. Here comes Gooden with it. Give it up to Stain. Nichols swing it back around the horn, and it's CG3. And a nice tip, good hustle play, but it goes out of bounds off the Lancers.
Yeah, very good defense by Elijah Thomas, who fought on the high side. He was on the high side, and he was able to release from the defender, create some space, just enough to get around. You see him fight around right there. That space on the defender, if you're leaning on him, it's hard to move. Very good footwork to stay off the defender a little bit, so when that bounce pass came, he could move around and tip it out of bounds. So solid defensive play there by Elijah Thomas.
Solid look there. Rick Croy, 8th year as the Lancers coach. Coach Judkins, 17th season here at the helm of the Trailblazers. Schofield's got to get it going, and he doesn't see the shot clock was winding down. It's a violation.
Not a very good possession there for Dixie State. A lot of perimeter passing on the perimeter. Nothing going towards the basket. It was just one pass, no vertical passing. It was just this perimeter passing that led to just a stagnant offensive set.
Trey Armstrong to Rowell, now back outside. Nottage circled around to Thomas, back to Nottage. Still 10-3, and Armstrong going to hit another triple, and this time it's Trey Armstrong burying it.
Well, he shoots 35% from downtown, 60 of 174, so very comfortable out there.
I think the Armstrong brothers have had some horse shooting competitions at the family get-togethers over the years.
I'm sure, hopefully.
Shot up and no good by the Blazers. They have went cold. dipping around 30% now in this game. Akin, little baby right hook, it hangs on the rim, no. And out of bounds, last touch by Akin. Nichols, now Pope checking in for Gooden. Stain, Gonzalez, and Schofield for Coach John Judkins. Daniel Akin. You got Raul Thomas, Nottage, and Armstrong for Coach Rick Croy. Under 10 to play first half. Pope's gonna hoist, missed the three. Rebound controlled by Daniel Akin, and here come the Lancers with the possession, just down by 4. They've weathered that 9-0 start of the Blazers. Dixie State on a little drought, and we got a whistle and a foul, and it's an offensive foul on Akin, who can't believe it. He's in disbelief as he pops up.
Yeah, he's wanting an explanation there. I thought it was a good move offensively, making a strong move, but Dixie State anticipating him. You look at that play almost as a scattering report foul, knowing that he's going to drive. Hunter Schofield doesn't quite take it in the chest. I can see why Akin's a little bit upset. Not quite solid, but the officials may have had a different look.
10-6. Stain will take a seat. Nichols will take a seat. More substitutions. We'll see Andre Mulabea for the first time tonight. And did they tee him up?
Must have been a technical foul. I watched the officials go to the scores table. I didn't ever see them signal that it's a technical foul, but Hunter Schofield definitely shooting a technical free throw.
Different angle you were looking for on the replay. The hardest call to make in basketball, if you ask me, is the charge block.
Yep. It's a little bit easier in college where you have that circle, you're outside the circle. That helps a little bit, but if you're Akin, you can see why he's frustrated. He's just got to control those emotions. Hunter Schofield didn't convert on the free throws, but that could have been a big momentum boost right there for the Lancers.
So Akin's going to take a seat, cool off a little bit. Probably smart to give him a little breather by Coach Croy. And he's got a couple fouls. Inside to Schofield, pass too high from Pope. Turnover Blazers. That is turnover number 6.
Again, this scoreless drought has extended to over 5 minutes now. So we've seen a 5+ minute drought for both teams. Lancers start the game out 5 minutes, not able to score. Now Dixie State returning the favor.
Whip out pass. Back to the corner. Armstrong hoists and hits. Mountain America Credit Union 3. Beautiful pass to the corner, and it's buried.
Yeah, big 3. You talk about how patient you have to be to get into this game. California Baptist is not panicked and just kind of stayed the course and weathered that Dixie State run and found themselves only down 2.
Nice head fake by Pope, but he missed it. Front of the rim. Ball's loose. Touched by who? Lancer basketball. They'll take it back over. Chance to tie or take the lead. Dixie State up 11-9. 8:54 to go here first half.
You see the tip. Both players tipped. It's a loose ball. That's a tough angle, but the official right there able to see.
Well, it didn't help that Pope was diving for it, thinking maybe that the Blazers touched it last. And another jackknife 3. That won't fall. Raul missed it off the back iron. Pope with the rebound. He'll jog it ahead. Goes to the left side. Hand off to Mulabea. Andre. Back to Dancel, leader. Gonzalez gives it back to Dancel. Dancel goes to a spin move. Trying to get all the way to the rim. Too strong off the window. And Jelani Stone with the rebound. Another chance for the Lancers to tie or take the lead. So after a 9-0 run to start this game by Dixie State, it's a 9-2 run the other way. Low-scoring defensive battle starting to develop out there. Both teams shooting pretty cool percentages from the field. 26% for the Blazers and only 17% for the Lancers right now.
Yeah, that's been the difference. And you talk about those runs, and it's really been the defensive end for the Lancers.
Raul 3, no. Rebound high above everybody. Schofield gobbles it up. He'll kick it outlet to Cam Gooden. Behind the back dribble. Cam goes to Dancel, leader. Leader takes a little bit of a bump.
I think he was reaching to Phil for him to get where he's at, not intentional.
Free throw doesn't go, though, on the foul. Blazers will inbound to Pope. Pope, power move, terminates the dribble, kicks out to Schofield. Schofield kick it back out to Pope. Low-scoring game, 11-9 on the Greater Zion scoreboard. Check out and see all Southern Utah has to offer at GreaterZion.com if you're coming to visit for WAC basketball. And Dancel leader deep. Jumper goes down inside the line by a foot or so. But finally a bucket for the Blazers.
Much needed bucket for the Blazers. And it's usually Dancel leader that ends those droughts. You know, there's something about his game where when his team needs a bucket, he steps up.
Nottage will shoot up a triple. That's too strong. Rebound, Cam Gooden. Cam kind of prying against the defense, and he kicks out. Schofield three won't fall. Whistle and a foul, and it'll stay here. Leader got pushed on that loose ball rebound attempt.
Yeah, you see Nottage going up, putting the forearm right in the back. You see great look right there. Forearm in the back of Dancel leader as he goes up to get that rebound. It's contact before, you know, the Dancel leader jumps. It makes that awkward.
Well, Coach Croy's got to be wondering, where's the scoring coming from? Armstrong, Taryn, and Trey have combined for all 9 points. Nobody else has scored yet for the Lancers. Only 3 Blazers have scored, Leader, Schofield, and Gooden. And another free throw missed, and nice rebound by Jelani Stone.
Well, and you mentioned their top 3 scorers are Akin, Trey Armstrong, and Ty Rowell. Ty Rowell hasn't even scored, and either has Daniel Akin. So, you know, 2 of the Lancers' 3 leading scorers not found the scoring column yet.
Yeah, Rowell and Akin are both 0 for 3, as a matter of fact. So they've had a couple looks. And it was a travel called against the Lancers. So back to the Blazers. Mulabea has a step. Right hand lay-in from the left side. Quick first move by Mulabea.
That was a great job letting that play develop. And he saw the lane and he took it. He just had to be patient, wait for his teammates to clear out, saw the advantage and took it.
Armstrong. Taryn goes behind the back. Still shaking and baking. Now bounce pass. Looks like it was nowhere to go. He threads the needle and finds Campbell, and now Rowell with it in the corner. They got to hurry. 5 on the shot clock. And we've got a reach around foul on Dixie State, I believe.
Yeah, it looks like
Mulabea.
Be on Mulabea. We talked about earlier on, we saw that California Baptist, I believe it was Elijah Thomas in the post. He fought around. He didn't get the foul, and he tipped it out of bounds. That time you saw Mulabea just too much onto the defender. He couldn't free himself to get around, so he had to fight through and got a foul.
Got to hurry. Rowell still had enough time, though. He didn't have to take it, but he takes the deep 3. It's knocked out of bounds, and it's last touch by, they say, Frank Stain, so Lancers will retain possession. Right now, rebounding department, Dixie State 16 to 13, so plus 3. Armstrong gonna go to work, guarded by Pope. Hits Thomas. Thomas right to the middle. Goes to a baby right hook. Got it. Elijah Thomas doing a little work. That was a pretty quick move. Very, very solid precision.
That's just a man move. I mean, he just went right at him, made his spin move, went right to the basket, and just challenged the defender and said, hey, you're gonna come and stop me. I'm going strong.
Staying behind the back. Didn't want the jumper. It drives in. Now he'll post up. He'll go up and under. It left it a little bit short. He'll tip it out to Schofield. Crosses it back to Stain. Little head fake, and finally Frank Stain will score that bucket in the low block.
Well, that's the first time you've seen Dixie State really go inside with a strong post move. Everything else has been perimeter, so Dixie State looking to take advantage inside and hopefully get a little inside game going.
17-11 our score. 5:24 to go. Ooh, nice little idea to get Stone the ball. It goes off his fingertips, but they'll get a back and kick it over to Armstrong, and Armstrong with the triple. Big time shot there from Taryn Armstrong. He's got 6 points, and the lead down to 3, 17-14.
30%, only 16 of 53 on the season.
Inside, Schofield, no. And the rebound controlled by CBU. Armstrong leaves it for Thomas. Over to Taryn Armstrong. And he's going to go all the way in and lay it in. Once he got past Schofield, turned the corner, nobody there in that second line of defense.
He's got a crafty offensive skill set. He can hurt you outside, but he's also very sneaky with the ball. When he's got it on the dribble, you've got to respect that drive. He's very good at reading the defense.
Schofield takes a bump, and he got the foul and one. Opportunities. It just kind of bounced, and fell through the net.
You know, the official had made that block call. He was waiting for the basket to drop before he could announce whether or not the basket was good. So good move there by Hunter Schofield. Get it down to the block where he's comfortable. You see that screen and roll. He rolls. Frank Stain waits for it. The defender rotates over. Mismatch. It was Hunter Schofield against Taron Armstrong. Coach Judkins will take that matchup in the post all day.
So Taron Armstrong tagged with the foul. This is just his first. And scoreboard malfunctioning up top. It's scoreboard incorrect. It's 19-16. Dixie State leads. It shows it's 19-1 here on the Jumbotron. Some fans pointing that out. Armstrong. Ooh, nice little bounce pass, and the reverse land no good. Stone got the rebound. It's stripped. Back to Rowell. Tie. Kick out. Corner. Not
taking up back up to 25%. So, you know, that offense is caught up with that defense, and we've got a ball game in Burns Arena.
Yeah, two teams that were in the old Pac West, and of course Cal Baptist started the jump first, and it's got a little bit of time on Dixie State making the transition to the WAC. They try to go into Edmonds in a turnover and a foul, or not a foul, but a turnover. And a lob, and oh, I thought Stone was going to dunk. That would have been sensational. Lost the handle. Nottage says, I got your back. I'll throw down with two hands.
The offensive rebound led to the dunk. We talk about momentum plays. You know, that brings California Baptist within one, trying to steal this Dixie State momentum.
Gooden to Edmonds. Back to CG. 3. Wearing number 3, and he'll take a corkscrew triple, and he missed it. Misfiring there from outside is Cam Gooden. Had 26 in that 79-76 win in Riverside earlier this season. That's a season high for Cam.
We talk about he has to shoot. He's got to be the guy to score. He's only 1 for 1 tonight. You want to see him putting the ball up. 1 for 2, sorry.
He played really good in that overtime win last Saturday over Utah Valley. Leader, and that is a big-time bucket. Nottage scoring it over Dancel Leader.
Yeah, I mean, that was a one-on-one post move. No help came, and Nottage just waited for that time to strike and felt Dancel Leader on his shoulder and took advantage of it.
And Nottage is 6'7", so he's got some size. Gooden tries a tough little shot at the rim, and that won't find the mark, and here come the Lancers. Ahead to Stone. Kick it back out to Armstrong. Flip pass to Nottage. He'll hoist triple short. Rebound, Frank Stain. Here comes Frank. Ahead to Pope. Pope on the wing, going through the middle. Challenging at the rim. A whistle and a foul. Going to be called, I believe, on Stone. And that'll put the Blazers to the free throw line. Isaiah Pope. Lancers with the lead.
1-point lead. I mean, it's been an interesting half, Devin. Both teams have really struggled. And when they've struggled, it's been clear because it just dies. I mean, you can see the Dixie State offense really struggling to get things going. Same thing happened with California Baptist early on, but it's been key substitutions. You know, as Nottage checks out, I think those are some key minutes. You know, he jumped in 11 minutes, 4 points, 2 for 6, 0 for 4 from downtown, but his defense inside, you saw him do some good things against Dancel Leader. You've seen him contest and block a few shots. Quality minutes there by Nottage.
Pope, both of them connect. Blazers back up by 1, 21-20. First half has flown by, just a little over 2 minutes left here on the We Win injury law clock. Step back, whip pass, Thomas, now to Armstrong, Nottage. Or excuse me, that's Armstrong with it. Armstrong, nifty dribbling, crossing over again. Still keeping that bounce going. Gonna go to a fadeaway with 1 on the clock, and he buried it.
Wow, that's a big time move there. I thought Isaiah Pope played that beautifully, but that is such a great move. That's a tough guy to defend, and when he's got it going, he's extremely good. Leader
over to Frank. Frank really not looking for a shot too much, and now he is looking for the shot. Got to a spot and knocked it down. There's Frank Stain when you need him. Blazers back up 23-22. Back and forth we go. Little seesaw battle happening here late first half.
Yeah, they've been back and forth now. I mean, it was all Trailblazers early. It was a stretch where it was all Lancers. Now it's back and forth.
And shot up and in. Big time shot.
Elijah Thomas, again, you know, he's back into the game, showing that he is a threat scoring as well. We mentioned it earlier, career high 22, but that 16 against Seattle shows. I mean, he's got big game ability.
Oh, ball deflected, but it was tipped, so Frank able to go get it. Gooden, spin move, reverse, nifty move, and he banks it home. Cam Gooden, there's the speed.
Yeah, he must have heard us, because since we've talked about him needing to shoot, he's taken 2 shots, so he's getting things going offensively, and that's the Cam Gooden Coach Judkins needs.
Now they're going to hold for one maybe here as the Blazers and the back
half, but solid start there for Hunter Schofield inside. Be interesting to see what he brings the second half.
You saw replay that Taron Armstrong fadeaway after
Nasty.
some nifty dribbling. 17 to go, ticking down to 15. Will Dixie State have the lead, or the Lancers going to retake it here? Shot up, no good, but they say hit him on the arm, so Ty Rout will head to the line and shoot free throws, I believe.
That's only the 5th team foul for Dixie State in the half.
Yeah, but it was on the elbow on the shot, so they can get a good free throw shooter to the line here.
Great stop.
Go ahead.
Great stop and pop. I mean, he created distance, great stop and shot.
And when I say good free throws, I mean good. I mean over 80% on the season.
He's solid.
And you alluded to it earlier in the broadcast, how good a free throw shooting team CBU is. And Raul's going to misfire. And we're tied at 25. And the Blazers can get the last shot. Stain with 5 to the middle. Kick out, Cam. He's going to take the 3, and he missed it. Rebound, Lancers. Got a lot of late night West Coast games that haven't even started yet. Fun night. Thursday night's fun night in college hoops, especially with all the waction, as I like to call it. Lancers start with the possession. Armstrong to his brother. Now we're to Ty Rowell. Rowell, Thomas, whip to Armstrong. And we've got a whistle and a foul going against Isaiah Pope.
Quick foul, Dixie State. You know, they played almost 6 minutes without a foul the first half, and real quick. I mean, we didn't play 15 seconds, and Isaiah Pope got whistled for the hand check.
Thomas back to Rowell. Guarded by Gooden. Flips it into Stone. Alkin not starting the second half because of the foul situation. And Jelani Stone with the left-hand move, finishing beautiful touch.
Stone getting the start the second half. You can see that's one adjustment they've made. They're going to go with a little bigger body than Hunter Schofield. They may have found a opportunity to score inside.
Whip pass, Schofield jumper. Got it. Hunter Schofield's got 9.
What a tough guy, you know. I mean, he shrugged off that hit in the jaw. He's back. He's refocused. Able to hit that mid-range jumper.
Thomas to Rowell, catch ready, and shot won't go. He let it fly quickly, but it looked so smooth, just didn't find the mark. And that pass on a one-hand run slipped out of the hand, couldn't get any oomph on it. And here come the Lancers. Armstrong, ball fake. I think the crowd wanted to travel. And now Rowell will hold, looking to dump it down inside to Stone. Jelani Stone looking for a pass, nothing there. Now he's going to go to work on Schofield. Left hand, too strong, rebound, Dansell Leader.
No question where California Baptist is going the second half. That's 2 possessions, 2 post touches for Stone.
And a lot of teams have definitely tried to go down inside. Dixie State's Hunter Schofield, Dansell Leader, both only 6'8".
Yeah. How about Dixie State? Coach Judkins saying, all right, well, we've got 2 possessions. We're going to get Hunter Schofield 2 touches, and he's answered with 2 baskets of his own. 11 now to lead all scores for the big game Hunter Schofield. Armstrong, Taryn, pump fake, and drew the whistle, missed the shot. Got to stay down. I just love the pump fake. I feel like people forget how valuable the old pump fake is. Yeah, it's definitely overrated. You see, he uses it really well. Stops, gathers himself. Right there, gets Isaiah Pope in the air, plays it nice to draw the contact, but still allow him some room to score.
Coaching staff down there coaching up Nottage and Akin. Akin's got to be hungry to get back on the floor because he only played 8 minutes in that first half. They'll bring him back just 2 minutes and 7 seconds into the second half. And Armstrong gets the free throws. We're tied at 29 on the Greater Zion scoreboard.
Another 11 points, or 12. That was just 12 point, 2 for 2 from the free throw line.
We doing trivia tonight, Coach?
Yeah, we've definitely got some trivia coming up.
I love it. Schofield jumper, no. It was a little heat check after his first 2 buckets, but that was a 18, 19-foot jumper just inside the three-point line. Armstrong, hard drive. Stays with the dribble. Now he's going to kick it back out, reset it around to Rao. Rao inside. Daniel Akin. One-hand bounce across the lane. Nottage couldn't score it, though. Left it a little bit short. Leader's going to rebound and run. Dancell Leader to Schofield. Now Gooden using the screen. Couldn't hit the roll. Now the whip it in as Schofield boxes up. Goes to the right. Hook off the glass and in. Schofield's got all 6 of the Blazers' second half points.
Yeah, they are definitely going to Hunter Schofield. No question. They're getting those mismatches using screens. Reading what California Baptist is doing on the screen. Getting Hunter Schofield to mismatch.
Schofield 6 of 14. He's got 13 points. Armstrong deep. 3 in the eye. And of course, a little international flavor for the Blazers, too. Dancell Leader with the ball right now from Suriname. He'll try to score it. Left it a little short off the window, no good. Seeing more and more international influence in the college and pro game in the States.
Absolutely. We're seeing it on display tonight. Dancell Leader, the Armstrongs, certainly having its impact on tonight's game.
They don't just play soccer everywhere else in the world, folks. Shot up, no good. In fact, Dancell was saying when he was growing up, he did play soccer. That was the #1 popular sport in Suriname. He also was a swimmer, told me.
He's definitely got the body for a swimmer. Long. Check out his backstroke.
Gooden trying to whip it, one-hand bounce in the lane. It's kicked. 20-second reset on the shot clock. 15:57 to go, second half. Low-scoring affair here, 32-31 Lancers. And we got another media timeout, so we'll step aside. Don't touch that dial. Goodwin in the WAC tonight on ESPN. Welcome back, Burns Arena. Devin Dixon, Mike Olson. Second half action here, 15:57 left to go in regulation. But this game has been close throughout, aside from that 9-0 start from Dixie State. And the Blazers with the ball, trailing now by 1, 32-31. Gooden spots Leader in the corner. Leader, hard drive, spin. They say flop, and he scores it. Seeing that call more and more, Coach.
You see it. Now, I don't agree that was a flop warning. If you see the replay, he slides, he gets stepped. It's almost like he lost his balance. His momentum was carrying him to the baseline, and it's hard to stop when your momentum is going that way and you're leaning backwards. I wouldn't call that a flop warning. He just got caught up missing his off balance.
Official deemed he was maybe trying to sell it where he was maybe really losing his balance. That's what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Armstrong. Baby right hook, no. And rebound Schofield. Flips it to Cam. Cam wants to go. Camaro stops, puts on the brakes, gets it to the big game Hunter. He'll turn into a flip shot hook, and that push shot no good. Blazers by 1. A lot of lead changes in this game. Been tied 5 times. And there's a 3. And maybe that'll get Ty Rao going a little bit as he buries it.
First field goal of the game. You knew he would not be quiet all game. He had a free throw before that one, but definitely getting his offense alive, hitting that 3.
And a whistle and a foul on Nottage on a push.
If you look at this lineup for California Baptist, they're all about the same height. That 6'2", 6'3" range. You've got Ty Rowell, who's right now the shortest guy on the team, but he's not far behind. So, Dixie State offensively able to take advantage of some of that, and on defense they're able to switch every one of those screens.
Pope to Gooden trying to go inside. He does. Schofield backing his way down. Baby left, no. Pretty good look. We've seen you make that, but this time, wide right.
Well, Akin is 6'9". He's the only size, and so they kept him on Hunter Schofield.
And Rao using his body, takes a bump and scores it. And I figured that three might get him going. Now he shows you that hard drive and athleticism to finish around the rim.
Once he gets going, his confidence goes through the roof. You see this left-handed dribble, keeps it in his left hand, absorbs the contact, shoots it with his left hand, able to get to 2-1.
37-33. And this is the largest lead of the night. 5-point advantage for the Lancers. Akin takes a seat, high-fiving every single teammate on the bench.
He deserves it. Quality minutes there for Akin, who really, I mean, he's that post defender that's going to be difficult for Hunter Schofield.
Gonzalez on a weave. Gooden with it now. Back to Gonzalez. He'll drive, whip. Schofield pump fake. Now he'll shoot it up and shoot it in. Hunter Schofield's got 15.
Well, you saw him switch right there. Ty Rowell switched on to Hunter Schofield, and he realized, okay, this is not my guy. He left Hunter Schofield open at the mid-range jump range right there at the elbow, and he made him pay for it.
Armstrong to his brother for three. Back iron goes over the standard, and Dixie State will have it back. 13:55 to play on our We Win injury log clock. If you've been injured in an accident, visit 435wewin.com. Blazers shooting 41% from the field right now, 35, almost 36% for the Lancers. But again, Blazers have not taken the three-point shot in the first 6 minutes and 15 seconds of the second half. They're trying to get to the rim like that, but it's blocked away. Here comes Rowell. Ty Rowell kicks it over to Armstrong. And he'll put it on a bounce, working on Gonzalez. Flip shot from the baseline, no. Frank Stain gobbles up that rebound. And we'll bring it into the front court. Schofield now to Gooden. Gooden to Gonzalez. Inside Schofield, quick shot, and it's good. Schofield's got 17 points.
I love that play right there. Cam Gooden had the look, but the angle was wrong. So he reversed it over to Frank Stain, who had a much better angle. Hunter Schofield maintained that position on the block.
Jelani Stone working on Schofield. Bulldogs his way in, and baby left-hand shot, nothing but net.
Devin, would it be easier if we just cleared the floor and let those two play one-on-one? And that's what it's coming down to. Both teams attacking the post. It's a one-on-one game inside.
I have a feeling we're going to see some threes hoisted here before long. Dansell, elbow jumper, and won't get it to go, and rebound, and Schofield a little shaken up, getting off the floor slow. Thomas sensing that, running ahead, spin cycle, and 5, top 10.
Yep, top 10. Two former Dixie State coaches.
I don't think Kidder was here long enough. Dave Rose is one.
Dave Rose is one.
Yeah. I'll have to think about the other one. Blazers ball out of the timeout. 42-37. Schofield. Stain, back to Schofield. Inside Nichols. Nichols. Pump fake, and off the window short. Ball tipped and rebounded by Daniel Akin. Oh, I trying to think of
other names on the list.
Neil, Coach Roberts was here a long time. I don't think, though, enough time to win it. Or get that many wins, I should say. Shot up from the outside, that won't go. I saw the list when he set the record.
He got most of his wins at BYU. Not Dave Rose.
Turnover by the Blazers. Well, I draw a blank on the second answer. I got one quickly, and I'm drawing a blank.
Stan Watts.
Ah. I probably wouldn't have got that. That was not, I was stuck on like the Majerises and people on that list, and I was having trouble thinking of all the other Dixie State coaches.
Great coaching here in this building.
What years was he here?
41 to 45.
Yeah.
Not around then, huh?
No. Inside, a little running hook, and they're going to call a bump foul first on the Blazers. Brock Gilbert has been inserted into this game. I think Juddy's looking for a little spark.
You know, I was looking down there wondering where he was going to go for some energy. He was looking for an opportunity or some kind of spark to get things going, and went to Brock Gilbert, who throughout this season, he's been that guy to get this team going when they need a boost.
Ball hadn't really started to rise when Schofield did get him across the arm. I think that was a pretty good call by the official.
Well, you mentioned Schofield. Look at his field goal attempts. Hunter Schofield came out of that timeout with 18 field goal attempts. His team with only 36. So definitely, I mean, that's over half the shots gone to Hunter Schofield.
Quickly to Nottage, turnaround jumper. And he didn't. Calmly knocks both down. And an open look for Rowell, and bam, down it goes. CBU, largest lead of the night now, 10, 47-37.
Well, you knew that was coming. As good of a shooter he is, he does not stay quiet.
Gonzalez passes on the three, goes to Schofield. Schofield kicks it to Gilbert, gets it right back. Schofield, baby right hook, too strong. Rebound Armstrong, but we got a push-off foul. And it's going to go against Nottage.
You know, Dixie State again going to Hunter Schofield. You love that post-repost. The first one wasn't open. He threw it back out to Gilbert. Noah Gonzalez, who got it right back to Hunter Schofield. But that's a battle inside. I mean, you look at both those guys are banging pretty heavy.
10:29 to play. Still a lot of game clock to go. Into Nichols. Off the window. Got it. Jacob Nichols, first bucket of the night.
Great execution on that OB under. Right out of that situation right there. Dixie State knew where to get the ball, and Jacob did a great job catch and score.
Lead back down to 8. Armstrong to Rowell in the corner. Keeps his dribble going. Wants to clear it out. Comes out Ken. He goes before the pick was even ready. And a travel. Yeah, he changed the pivot foot. The official saw it.
Yeah, he did. You can see Coach Croy motioning to his guys saying, hey, come and help him. You've left him alone. You're all standing out there just watching. Come and help him.
CBU's coaching staff into this game. They're fired up. You know, this was, you know, a big rivalry beside BYU Hawaii in those old Pac-West days.
That's right.
This was the next biggest rival between these two schools.
Yeah, and the last one being that Dixie State win on the home court of CBU in the championship game.
Three-pointer, Brock Gilbert, he got the shooter's touch. Question. Dixie State doesn't have a big coaching staff, just Coach Schroeder, Coach May, and Coach Morris. 5-point lead. Oh, and a steal by Gonzalez. Nice steal. No, they called a foul. As he turned the corner there, I thought he tipped it away, but the official from the outside says, no, that's a foul. Watch it for the replay. See what you see.
He was sliding with him. You can't see from that angle where the foul occurred, but you can see Noah doing his best to try to keep up with him, trying to cut him off, just get right inside him.
Whip pass, and around the horn it goes. Armstrong to Armstrong. Trey to Taryn. Back to Rowell. Back outside Taryn. Rowell wants to shoot it. It's in the air. It's good. Ty Rowell from distance.
Yeah, he's heating up. How about that out of bounds play? You saw that Lancer inbounder just throw it off of Hunter Schofield's back and try to get in and get it. Hunter Schofield noticed it, turned around and tried to knock it away, but they dodged a bullet.
Answering that Gilbert three with a three by Rowell. He's really starting to come alive. He's got 12 of his 13 points in the second half. Just had a free throw in that first half, and that was it. Nichols on a hand check slowed up before he could reverse that up and in. Shot won't go, so 3 team fouls is it for CBU. Dixie State next foul will put the Lancers in the bonus. Gilbert looking, gets it into Schofield. Comes and gets it behind some room, so he'll hit a three! Mountain America Credit Union three. Brock Gilbert's second since entering this game.
Yeah, what a key minutes there by Brock Gilbert. Dixie State only 1 3-pointer before he checked in. Now he's got 2 more.
And they've called a block on Schofield. Bucket scored by Armstrong, and he'll head to the line for the old-fashioned 3-point play.
Dixie State desperately trying to get some momentum. You see that big shot by Brock Gilbert. You see the crowd getting into it. You see that momentum going, and then the 2-and-1 just steals that momentum away.
There's a shot of the replay. I mean, Schofield.
That's tough.
I just straight up really didn't put the arms down or anything, but so often when the offensive player initiates the contact, sometimes that defensive player just gets called for it, and you've got to play on. 53-45, lead back up to 8. 8 minutes and 25 seconds left on the We Win Injury Law clock. Nichols, he wants to shoot the three. It's short. He was shot ready. He did not hesitate, but couldn't knock it down.
Yeah, not even close there. I mean, that's a shot you can get much later in the shot clock.
Kick out. Armstrong, three, no. Gonzalez with the rebound. Here comes the freshman. Gonzalez all the way to the rim, lay it up and in. Noah Gonzalez, first points of the night. Coming a big moment there to cut that lead down to 6.
Heads up play by the freshman who saw that lane just open up. Great decision to just keep the ball on the ground and go.
7:45 to go, second half. 3 by Rowell. He's starting to feel it, baby. That was a little heat check, and yep, I'm still hot.
Yeah, that's the night three-pointer of the night for the Lancers, who we talked about the three-point line coming into play. It has definitely been the difference tonight.
Gilbert lost his balance, kicks it out, all free into the game for the first time tonight. And they'll call a butts are dropping. It's just like, you know, any sport when Brady's just dicing defenses, throwing touchdowns. I mean, players just get in the zone. Gonzalez shot ready, turnaround jumper won't go. Ball is knocked out of bounds, and last touch by the Lancers deemed the officials. Yeah, Lancers 40% from the field right now, 20 out of 50 on the night. Blazers 20 out of 47, 42%. But 3 is always better than 2 on the scoreboard.
That's right, absolutely. No, Dixie State is not able to get things going offensively. You look at that start, it's either a poor start and they figure it out later, or they have a great start and then they struggle. We've seen that side of them tonight where they got off to a great start, just blistering the bucket, and they just cooled off.
Alfrey wide open, but he misfires. Tracked down by Pope in the corner. He stays in bounds. Lancers by 9. Here goes Pope. Down the lane, finger roll attempt, no. And tough, strong rebound by Armstrong.
A big stop there for the Lancers. They needed that one. Dixie State's looking to get a run going. With 7 minutes to go, they've really got to get things going quick.
Tarrant, the freshman. Trey, the sophomore. These guys, I don't know how old or what age differential they are, but they look like they're probably a year and a half apart, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And we got an offensive foul called. Campbell picks up the offensive foul.
See Isaiah Pope doing a good job of just anticipating that line. Campbell was going right to that spot, and Isaiah Pope was able to beat him to the spot, get position, and draw that offensive foul.
Well, Stone was trying to get low position, and Campbell wanted to drive there. I think maybe that's what the coaches were talking with Campbell about. Maybe a little more patience. Leader inside to Pope. It's tipped, deflected, and it's a foul on Pope. Pope got tangled up with Akin.
That's his 4th.
Yeah, 6:24 to go. That's a factor. And here comes Frank Stain quickly off the bench for Coach Judkins. So Daniel Akin heading to the free throw line. Been there quite a bit. 126 out of 185, 68% on the season coming into tonight. Did hit a couple earlier. And he's got another one.
Yeah, Lancers 7 for 8 from the free throw line. Dixie 40%, 4 for 10.
Akin does not have a field goal yet. And that one's good. All 4 points tonight on free throws. 58-47, lead up to 11. Matching the largest of the night. Gooden to Frank. Inside Alfrey.
Common foul.
Common foul. Okay. Rowell on a high catch. Gives it back up to Taron Armstrong. Back to Ty Rowell. Rowell over to Nottage. Reed Nottage with the bounce going back to Armstrong. Fakes left, lob behind everybody, and a foul on Allfrey, who's saying I got all ball, but he'll get tagged with the foul. Both teams, the expressions tonight, nobody feels like they're committing a foul tonight, Coach.
That's right. That's right. Well, you see miscommunication there for Dixie State. They came off of a ball screen. Ooh.
He did get a lot of ball, didn't he?
He did get a lot of ball.
I think because it was all tangled up in the net and the rim, I'm not surprised they whistled that there in that situation, though. And he's coming from the back side.
Yeah.
Free throw is good.
Shoving Allfrey up there. A lot of ball hits the rim.
Second free throw is in and out. Here comes Gilbert. 12-point lead now, largest of the night. They just kind of keep creeping it up. Lancers in control. Can the Blazers make a run, or will the Lancers continue to hold them off and pull away? We're about to find out. 5:36 to go on the We Win Injury Law clock. Inside, good catch by Schofield. Pump fake and scores it. And I think Schofield wanted a foul.
Yeah, 19th point, I believe.
Yes, sir.
19-9.
Foul trouble as we get into crunch time. Pope has 4. He's not on the court right now. Nottage and Akin have 4. Nottage going to take a triple. Misfiring. Akin goes up, skies for the rebound. Second chance opportunity here. He's going to go bulldoze into an offensive foul, and he just fouled out.
Yeah, heads up play there by Hunter Schofield. You saw Akin, he made his move with his shoulder. He made that move, there was contact. Hunter Schofield absorbed the contact, anticipated it the second time, got in position to take a charge.
Akin clearly didn't want to leave and exit this game. 59-49 at the 5-minute mark. Just a little too aggressive on that shoulder shrug.
No, it's got to be a frustrating night for him. He comes into this game as the team's leading scorer with 12.4 points. Did not hit a field goal. All 5 points came from the free throw line.
And now we've got a whistle and a foul. And if that's on Nottage, that is it for him, and he is fouled out. So, wow, I just reset the foul situation, and then boom, boom, the two guys with 4 both got number 5.
You know, I think that Nottage has played really well. When you look at, he's got 4 points, 2 for 9, but I really like this Elijah Thomas matchup. Elijah Thomas comes in for Nottage. I think he's a bigger threat than Nottage is coming in. You know, again, he's a big game capability. I think that his style of play is going to help CBU eventually.
Free throw missed again. Dixie State 4 out of 11 from the stripe. Rao all alone, Stone. And he can't get it to go. It's contested. And now we've got a quick jump ball, I believe, or a foul. Let's see. I think it's going to be a jump. Possession arrow is, no, it's a foul.
How about Stone going up against 4 Trailblazers to get that rebound? He was surrounded by 4 Trailblazers. Dancell leader Hunter Schofield, Frank Stain, and Brock Gilbert. You see him go up all 4. He goes up and gets it. Brock Gilbert's right there. Crowd wanting a jump ball.
He almost put the ball into Brock's hand. He turned towards him. I mean, if I'm sitting there and I'm staring at those cookies, I'm putting my hand in the cookie jar, Coach.
Absolutely.
I don't know you can blame Brock on that one at all.
No, he was right where he needed to be, and you know, the crowd wanting that jump ball. Stone missing the free throw. You know, coming in, he's a 48% free throw shooter.
Stone missed the first, the second one no good. And the crowd is excited because the Culvers have a in-arena promotion where if the opposing team misses 2 free throws, everybody gets Culver's ice cream after the game. Who doesn't like free ice cream?
I'll take it.
And the nice little baseline cut, and Schofield scores it. And the lead is 59-51 with 4:19 and ticking down on the clock. Armstrong has to go get it. Whips it ahead to Rowell.
Well, he's a guy, if you're Coach Croy, you want the ball in Rowell's hands.
Over to Taron Armstrong again. Here comes a screen from Stone. Going to use some clock now. It's down to 5, though. They got to go. Rowell sensing that. Drives in. and a whistle and a kind of exciting. And then I'm forgetting the other one that's coming. I'll think of it.
You said Incarnate Word.
Yep. It's another Texas school coming in, joining the WAC. And of course, Chicago State is leaving.
Yep.
And Ty Rowell does what Ty does, makes free throws.
Yeah, what a second half for Ty Rowell. He's put his team on his back, and he's really picked up that scoring load. 17 second-half points. We've got 4 minutes to play.
Stain drives the baseline, spins back out of it, trying to post Hunter. And a whistle and a foul. And it'll be on Jelani Stone. It's just his second. Stone's given them 15 big minutes tonight, and with Daniel Akin fouling out, he's going to have to go down the stretch here. He's 2 out of 5 rebounds and 4 points. Schofield to the line, and it's good.
It's a good sign coming into this free throw. He was 1 for 5, so good to see Hunter Schofield connect from the free throw line.
And he's just shy of 74% on the season, so that's a little bit mysterious. Why? And now a whistle and a foul and a rebound as Gilbert was starting to try to grab that rebound. Thomas was trying to grab the rebound, and Thomas gets tagged with the foul.
Coach Judkins loves this effort by Brock Gilbert. I mean, he just comes in spark plug, makes good decisions, makes big plays, and that time the rebound was secured, I believe, by
Thomas.
Thomas had the rebound. Brock Gilbert just snuck around and was able to hit it out, and Thomas just tried to react and knock Brock Gilbert down and got the foul.
Free throw woes continue. Tough late in the year to just make the team run gassers for missing free throws, isn't it, Coach? It's been a rough night from the line for the Blazers. They are 5 out of 14.
Brock Gilbert, 2 for 2 from downtown, but coming in, he's only a 58% free throw shooter out of 7 out of 12.
Gets the second, they'll press. It's an 8-point lead, 61-53. Rowell, jump pass, and they get into the front court just in the nick of time. Armstrong out near half court, wants to work some clock. Dixie State, as Coach Croy knows, was down 8 points with 1:33 to go in Riverside, and they went on an 11-0 run. They forced 4 CBU turnovers and won the game 79-76 earlier this season.
Oh, and he's going to have to do it without his leading scorer, Akin, who fouled out, and Nottage, so
trying to get it in, they do. Stone, right back to the inbound guy. That's Taron Armstrong, and a whistle and a foul, and Armstrong will head to the line for free throws.
Well, you saw that play develop. That was a great call there by, I believe it was Taron Armstrong who took the ball out of bounds. You saw that inbound spot step in real quick. He saw the Dixie State defenders go high. He just stepped in. There was nobody in the paint.
So here's the free throws. UT Arlington was the team I was trying to think of.
Oh, yeah.
That's coming in.
Yeah.
Thank you, Martin. Martin back in the studio helping me out with remembering who that was.
It's clutch, Martin.
Producing the game for us here on 97.7 ESPN. Of course, thanks for watching on ESPN Plus. 3:14 to go. Second free throw, no good. Uh-oh, Blazers touched it last. It goes out of bounds. I think a couple guys there and kind of should have cleared out and just let Schofield maybe go get that. I don't know.
Well, when it was head, it was Frank Stain and Dancel Leader both went to get it, and there was Thomas right in front of him and tipped it right out of bounds.
Schofield does have 22 points and 10 rebounds, but right now the Blazers are on the ropes, down 9. CBU looking to add to that. Thomas turns, no resistance, so he just goes right into the lane and scores it with the left hand.
Well, that's that matchup I was talking about. Losing Nottage and having Thomas come in, it doesn't hurt the Lancers. I mean, he's very good inside, knows how to score himself, and proved it right there with that play.
Blazers need some buckets here and some stops if they're going to mount a comeback. Leader's going to cut and two-hand jam. Dancel Leader. There's the quick score to cut it back down to 64-55, 2:32 to go.
He leads the team in dunks, and it's plays like that where he sneaks behind the defense and gets up strong to finish it with a dunk.
Armstrong terminates the dribble, whips it all the way over to Thomas. Down to 10 on the shot clock as Thomas is going to try to pass it. It's deflected right back to him, over to Trey Armstrong, who misfires a little strong on that three-point attempt. Brock Gilbert wanting to run. Blazers don't have numbers. Gets it to Cam. Juddy sticking with Gilbert in crunch time, who's played well, brought some energy, and now whistling a hold on Elijah Thomas. And that is going to send Dancel Leader to the line. Here's the replay of that backdoor cut. Beautiful find and a strong finish.
Well, you love that pass by Brock Gilbert. He didn't pass it to Dancel Leader. They made eye contact, and he said, I'm going to pass it where you need to go. Two-hand pass right to the opening, and Dancel Leader went and got it. So a great assist there by Brock Gilbert.
His second assist of the game to go along with 7 points off the bench in just 9 minutes. Good production, and that's why Juddy's staying with him in crunch time here.
Absolutely. You've got Isaiah Pope with 4 fouls, and Coach Judkins opting to just continue to go with Brock Gilbert, who, with former starter, saw a lot of minutes as a starter early in the season and stepping in. 14
games, Cam Gooden and Brock Gilbert started in the backcourt together. And the second free throw is good. He makes them both, so down to a 7-point lead, 2 minutes to go. Armstrong out on a chest-high dribble. Now he bends low, goes to the low dribble, starts to go and backs it back out. Here comes the double team. He'll get rid of it. Now to 8, Taron Armstrong. Got to go. He'll take a little leap and leaner, and he got it. Taron Armstrong with the shot clock winding down. Huge bucket for the Lancers.
Yeah, great possession there by CBU.
Good and high arcing shot, back iron. Just a little too strong. Rebound, Taron Armstrong. He's got 16 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals, and only 1 turnover.
Solid.
Just a freshman, coach.
Yeah, he's solid.
And he's going to try to lob it high for the two-hand slam, and Stone rocks the rim.
Well, Taron Armstrong, you can tell he demands attention when he's got the ball, and the Dixie State defense came right at him, and once they made that step, he made him pay with the lob.
Gilbert, Schofield, bucket, good, timeout. Keep this from getting down to that, 1 or 2 possession game. We're going to press.
Possession game, it's got to be quick. Dixie State's got to get a stop real quick and then just play the clock.
They get it into Rowell. They don't foul immediately. Trying to trap. Working on that trap. They get it ahead. They get it to the middle of the floor, and they're going to get a breakaway dunk as they get it to Stone, and he rattles the rim again.
Yeah,
That's like me on a 7-foot rim playing some street ball. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have that, Jelani. You got me top, and there's no question.
It's got to be quick.
Back to 11-point lead. 3 from Frank. Back iron. Rebound Stone. And a quick foul and a reach in, and Jelani Stone will head to the line. And Cal Baptist's going to win this game.
Yeah, it's definitely looking that way. Jelani Stone coming in right now, 5 points on the season. He came in averaging 5 points, and his 8 points, Devin, tonight have been huge. You're going to look at that and think, if he hits these free throws, maybe 10 points. That does not even paint the picture of what he's meant to this Lancer offense tonight. He's been strong. He's missed some free throws, but he's done a great job on Hunter Schofield when he's needed to, when he's in the game. But he's had some key buckets.
And Stone can't hit him. Still 11-point lead. Gilbert into the front court over to Schofield. He'll take the triple, short. Rebound, fought forward, won by Thomas, and quickly fouled. Cal Baptist's going to pick up their 5th WAC win. They had lost 9 of their last 13. They're going to take a little momentum into Utah Valley on Saturday.
Well, they're fighting for that spot. I mean, they're wanting to inch their way back in. Dixie State is 1 position ahead of them in the standings, but keep in mind, Dixie State cannot go to the WAC tournament.
Right.
So that's a spot. If they're sitting in that 8th spot, the 9th seeded team's going to get that. So, they're trying to keep their season alive.
Coach Croy's team playing like they were on a mission tonight. Aside from that 9-0 slow start.
Well, we talked about the bounce back game. The bounce back game, he's got that bad taste in their mouth from what happened in Riverside, and opportunity to come here and get the Trailblazers back.
I think we got a lane violation. Shot won't go. Thomas had grabbed the offensive rebound. 12-point lead, just 20 seconds to go. 71-59 on the Greater Zion scoreboard. Gilbert's going to race in, and it's going to be blocked. It's going to go out of bounds, touch the baseline. Dixie State now at 12.8 on the clock. And Dixie State and Seattle U, after losing tonight, going to be looking for, both teams looking for the bounce back on Saturday night.
That's right. They're not the only team to win tonight. The Dixie State women pulling off a victory, 81-77 on the road. So congratulations to Coach Gustin and the Lady Trailblazers. Big win.
Had that big win against New Mexico State.
Yeah, at home.
A week and a half ago. Well, 8 days ago, right? It was last Wednesday.
Yep.
Had a heartbreaking triple overtime loss to New Mexico State down in Las Cruces the week before that. Schofield free throws good. Lead is still 10 seconds to go. I don't think Coach Judson's is going to, he's calling it off. 4 seconds, he'll tick down. CBU is going to win it. Final score tonight's going to be 71.